Test, test, test. Can you guys hear me? Hello. Hope you guys can. Got home early. Got my stuff taken care of. Had to get my car inspected. And luckily got all that figured out. Albeit, I did not have my insurance card. So I had to get that from the people to email it to me. But can you guys hear me? Just double checking. Cool. Thanks for stopping by. I just want to look at some charts. I haven't got to catch up much today. I figured might as well stream it as we go through the tools. So welcome. It's Rainbow Runner, it's Rainbow Trends, and this stream is intended for educational purposes only. It's not intended to be used as financial advice. Hope you guys are doing well. Market is pumped, and we're going into FOMC. And it'll be the first FOMC of the year. So really excited to see what Powell does, and most importantly, not just what he says, how he says it. Powell does a lot of foreshadowing with his emotions. So transcripts are good, but reading his facial expressions and stuff like that, he doesn't hold back much, and you can see what he is really getting into. Unfortunately, we're at a range high, the second to last range high for the current Bitcoin level that we've been in since June of last year. Holy cow, it's been 7 months. That's crazy. But it is what it is. And it looks like we're at the top. And a lot of people are getting really, really bullish here. Didn't want anything to do with the bottom signals we had down here. But we have fully pumped up. Let's see what this was. We've done 53% on Bitcoin. Holy cow. Right now we're like at 48 from the bottom. So I mainly went in Ethereum here and held it till about here on the Ethereum chart. And I've just been kind of risking off and waiting. This looks like inverted Barton or Head and Shoulders to me. So I'm really skittish. I want to be wrong. Bitcoin has not been in a situation where we long resistance. It's been take profits at resistance, and then it's been falling for the most part. But so far we've hit extensive Botox done. That would be crazy. Just come in with a completely emotionless, wrinkleless, smooth face. Likewise, if you showed up like with a big gnarly beard or something, that'd be pretty cool. But back to this, we got our bottom signal here, we got our full color rotation, we got our RSI rotation, and then we had multiple tests, 1, 2, 3 dips. Then we kind of had a lower high here, and then she full sent. This is the BTC USD chart for Binance, my favorite data, whether that's charting or doing bots. But for the most part, we pumped, went sideways. We knew this was going to be a TP target. That's why it's marked in red. Multiple pivot lines here from the Rainbow Trends. Let me pull the reversion bands off. Just to make it a little clearer. And then we have this one coming up here. So these not TP signals, but this is going to be the next level of resistance if we get to it. With every FOMC meeting, people unfortunately trade it like crazy, and they really don't need to. Just sit back and relax. Let it go crazy, and you can just laugh at your buddies who are scared as out of their minds. And you can just chill. Let me try to make that a horizontal line. I can't print these across all the way across. It is a limitation of PineScript, not me. I would draw them all the way across if I could. Because believe it or not, these pivots that are, even if they're like a year old, they still hit. So there is that one, and this one. Boom. So there we are. So we've hit. So we fully through this one, broke up to the next one, and now we've tested it a bunch of times. We almost got to this level at 24.3, but got rejected. And now we've kind of sit back here, and now we're going into the FOMC meeting tomorrow, right? So just be really, really careful here. We're up 48% on Bitcoin in a month or two. So just think of it as you're sitting on thin ice at a very high altitude. You could easily fall through, right? So that's the concern. And I want to be wrong, but you have to ask yourself, is like, you really want to FOMO and long here, when really here, this is where it was time to long. This isn't really the time to long, and it's not necessarily the time to short, but it's definitely the time to like secure profits and not expose yourself. We just had a 40% run in crypto, right? This was a lot of action. A lot of people made a lot of bank. Don't give it back. Don't lose this capital and give it back to the whales, because tomorrow they're going to attack it regardless of what you think. And it doesn't matter. It's pretty much Jerome's going to come in and say 0, 25, or 50. Those are pretty much the only three options. What the odds are, 25 versus 50. I think they're leaning towards 25 right now. But if he comes in and says 50, it's going to crush markets. If he says anything weird, people are just going to act a fool, right? It's just part of it. And we're right here. So, is what it is. And we're going to go see. Let it print. Let it print. If it just completely nukes, do some knife catching, right? If he comes in and says 0 and they're gonna return to quantitative easing and stuff like that, send it, moon it, right? You're not gonna get punished for longing late. If it's all bullish news, we're gonna get up to here and we're gonna break out, retest, and then we're gone, right? But if you want to try to hop on this train early at this level, and this thing goes scattery and down, you're really in trouble here. And also, every time there's an FOMC, it wicks in both directions, typically up and down. It's a coin toss which way it wicks, and then it'll wick the other way, and it's just chaos. But they'll hunt your stop. So even if you think you can get like a really tight stop loss here, they can try to catch you. So you got to be really careful. It is what it is. So you're gonna be like, they're FOMOing you into trading like where you're at a disadvantage. So just let it print. Like, we've been in the same range since June of last year, right? We played these bottoms, we played these tops, we played these resistances. Remember, that was the last CPI print here. This wasn't FOMC, but this was CPI. This was inflation. We almost broke up through this range. People were bullish as could be, right? And it completely nuked, and we got this weird kind of angled BART that no one really saw coming. And this was another one where I was preaching to people, risk off. We're coming up to resistance. The colors are rotating. The top signal print when it hit, so I can't claim that one. But I don't want to be a Mr. Hindsight. But anyway, and we came back down, range tested. We went up. We formed another BART here. And then we nuked on the FTX. So hashtag thank you, Sam. And this has been the accumulation range that is FTX. So the market's recovering. There's contagion going on. All of that we're going through. And the contagion keeps on going through worse. And it keeps having more fallouts. The most recent one is like Genesis and DCG. I think DCG, or one of the parent companies within there, did file for bankruptcy. So at the end of the day, silver is hurting, but Grayscale appears to be alive. So take that for what it's worth. But for the most part, range low, range high, and a little kind of a mid-area. This should really be orange, in all honesty. We'll just call it the mid-range. But you can see price slammed right into this range. And then it started SOSing, right? Started going back and forth. And then we moved up to the next one and tag. So, is what it is. And that's just where we're at. And right now, we've printed 2 top signals on the H4. So, I'm really not wanting to fade my bot here. You can see every other H4, we fell down kind of later. But you get the point. We've gotten 2 of them. So, the problem is if this breaks up, it's going to slam into this. And then we don't know what's going to happen, right? But if this thing breaks down, it could easily melt your face off. So don't expose yourself. Especially if you're in an alt. If this thing starts to break down, alts are going to just capitulate like you wouldn't believe. Because we've got alts that are like absolutely going nuts right now too. So keep that in mind. Anywho, what's up, Vital? We need to catch up sometime. But yeah, that's Bitcoin, and there's a lot of people posting like accumulation and Wyckoff schematic charts. I don't see Wyckoff on this one personally. This is frankly not a spring to me. It is a lower low, but it's been doing this for what, 2 months now, 3 months now. I'm not really crazy on it. We'll see. Up to this point, I was kind of following along with it, and I was like, okay, this may be accumulation, and we'll see that it breaks. And so far, this was the where Elon Musk sold himself. So, I'm not so crazy about it. But you know, if you want to tell me in a few months that this is the actual bottom, I could believe it, right? The only thing is I'm worried about is if we come down and then this is the official like creek and then we jump. So that would wreck a lot of people if we came back down to 18 or like 15K. And I don't want to see that. It's just, this is a weird pattern. It really, really is. I haven't seen this before. It's like we're at the tail end of an accumulation range and then we've got this giant inverted bar. Like it's really gross. And honestly, I think it may have been setting up all together properly and then FTX like nuked it all and screwed it all up. But one thing I wanted to show is like there are alts that do look right. So if I pull off my pivots, my whale prints, we can see it a little better here. Let me turn off the runner bot. This kind of looks like the Wyckoff schematic chart to me. And frankly, even if it's not, I'm really excited to see that Link did not print a lower low here like Bitcoin did. That shows me someone's accumulated this and is willing to defend it. They were not willing to defend Bitcoin. They were willing to defend Link though. So yeah, whatever, dude. Scammer in the chat. I don't know how to delete this. Mods? Actually, I don't know how do you... Oh. I'm literally clicking it. Let me just ban... Huh. I rarely have to do the moderation. Block. There we go. I blocked him. Whatever. Anyway. This looks accumulation-y to me. So if I get anything over 950 on Link, like pay attention big time. This thing's loaded. And it's been doing this since May of 2022. So she's been doing this for a long time. Look at Ethereum. So this is our Ethereum range. It's a bit messy. Let me switch the main indicator back to default settings. It's a lot of mess here, but there's a lot of TP levels in this chart. This has been a wild one, so you've got to party with it if you want to hang with like these levels. And I know this looks like a mess, but there's rhyme to this reason. And we've accumulated here. I think I got an entry at 11.15, I think. And I sold it here at like 15.60, around there. And I ended up getting like 40%. It took 2 to 3 months, but I offloaded here and I was not expecting to be talking about these TP levels because for the most part, we haven't been knocking TP levels out of the park. But so far, we've hit 4 of the 6, which is very, very impressive for Ethereum. This first level we hit, punched to the next one, had a little stutter here, punched, stuttered, punched, barely got the 4th one, but it counts. And then we've yet to show the 5th or 6th one. But you can see here, we're at this level here where there was a previous Bart Simpson pattern. And it completely capitulated. So this is really like what I'm worried Bitcoin's going to do. So that's why I'm like, guys, just chill out. We've had 2 pumps up a level. Let's make sure this doesn't show up. So this looks like it's setting up for a Bart, in all honesty. And that's pretty scary. Cool, I figured out how to delete that stuff. Sorry. That's really going to bother me. What's up, Clark Nova? So, and then there's 2 top signals here as well. And we got a top signal here on Ethereum and it nuked. Oops, moving that. And then this popped, went down as well. So I'm a little skittish and the colors are rotating. These are weakening colors, right? But the volume is still nothing crazy. But regardless, I'm going to let him say what he says. And by that time, like FOMC hits, we got to get into February. So there's a lot of contracts rolling over in February, and we got to see what's going on with that. So, anywho, Binance, BNB coin, going up to these levels as well, chopping along. Vital wants to see Harmony. We can take a look at Harmony. I don't personally watch it that much, but let's go to higher time frame. Yeah, so this is going to be your resistance level here that you're really touching right now. And we're getting a cell signal or a top signal on the H6, which is pretty strong cell signal. So your next levels would be here. I don't know why I made those green. Give me a second. It's downtrend pop, downtrend pop. I don't want to see it come back down to like 57, right? And that could happen. These colors are pretty darn hot. But that's really what the range looks like when you do this. So, and there's multiple levels here that they've tagged as well. All the way based off that initial pivot, and then there's another pivot right here, another block. So there's your blocks, and there's a single pivot here, so we'll just draw a little tiny little one there. So that's what you're looking at. You've crushed basically 3 of them. That's a really deep dive past this level, and then they reversed it. But you can see they flipped the channel walker and they're rolling it. But these are hot, hot, hot colors. But that's kind of interesting. That's a perfect trend line. So you could say maybe they're channel walking. Maybe this whale print is trying to save this channel walk. Maybe that's in the cards. So keep an eye on that. But if this breaks, like, I would be really skittish. Really, really skittish. Because this is already... How big is this run? 154%. Yeah, so be real careful. That's way bigger run than I thought it was. I follow small crypto people. Can't claim to be one myself. One was burning this past week. Yeah, it has been. Yeah, this one's been running too. And then Fetch AI. Or it's FET USDT. Yeah. Now there's a lot of AI narrative. And this thing has been on a tear. But I don't know if the AI narrative is short-lived. This has been on 370%. I just want to buy a Moonbag and forget about it. Because I used to mess with this stuff all the time. Now it's... Oh, there you go. I mean, hell. My Wyckoff amateur seals are coming out. I want to say preliminary support. Automatic reaction. Here's your spring. Wham. But it's interesting is that rejection that went that damn deep back into the mid-range. That's a really bad drop. And then she went. But she's looking like a full-on color rotation here. But check out the kiss on the channel walker tool. And if you're new here, by the way, go check us out at rainbow-trends.com. You can read up all about our tools. We got cool animations and stuff too, and you can read about all of these. And if you have really particular questions, click these little triangles. It'll show you the video of each individual tool. But Altcoin Sherpa had some stuff on this today. Actually, he posted about Fetch AI, and he thinks this is going to cool off along with the other AI narratives. So we'll see how it goes. High Life 97, what is up, my dude? Yeah. Fetch AI, though, guys, just so you're aware, this thing is violent and weird. It does a lot of crazy moves. There's a really choppy pattern I'm looking for that I used to play with. No. Oops. Might be this. This was... These were like 40% swings up and down. She's crazy. Yeah, look at this. This is the one. Look at this. Just chop. And it was this pivot. They just kept tagging that pivot, tagging it, tagging it, tagging it, tagging it. I mean, had you bought every friggin' pivot dip, you'd have been really well off. That's all I can say. But it's so violent, I get scared of this thing. So, moving on. Let's check out Neo. My old Chinese Ethereum buddy Neo. It's pushing up. This was a big range here of a bottom range that I've got drawn out that we've had since like May, and we're getting into it. So if she can break through it, that'd be awesome, but we got to see. So far, she's been bouncing off the channel walker to get up. Let me see how Zcash is doing. I usually post a ton of Zcash content, but frankly, I'm a little skittish with Barry Silbert. I don't know if Barry's going to suffer or, you know, I don't know what happens if Grayscale files for bankruptcy and all these Grayscale coins, what happens next. I don't know if these will get dumped on the market or what they're going to do. So I'm a little skittish of this. So Zcash, I'm not too interested regardless. It's swinging up. There was kind of a channel walk here, and then it broke, and that was awesome, but I'm just not so crazy about it. XRP, I saw there was maybe staking, but I don't like XRP. I haven't honestly heard anything about the lawyer stuff in a while, so maybe that's coming around. I don't know. Since we're talking silver coins, let's go to Ethereum Classic. Now this is the proof of work merge with Ethereum that kind of went off, and now she's fully retraced at this point. And we marked this as a BART, and we shorted it. So shout out. So we've done a 70% pullback. Maybe it's time, but I'm just not sold yet. Speaking of Sol, Sol is on a rip. Here's your Alameda SBF dump, and then she's popped back up. Now, if you believe in Sol, this is probably your generational bottom. If it survives. I don't know how far this FTX stuff's going to roll out, especially with all the shenanigans that are still coming out. Why on earth he's allowed to have access to the internet, I don't know. It seems ridiculous. But funds and stuff are still flying around. But hopefully, if you're impacted by the FTX fallout, I am deeply sorry for you. Wish you the best. And the key is survival. So you'll make it back. Hopefully. And it actually looks like they may be able to get close to like 50 cents on the dollar. So you may end up getting like half back of everything. So who knows? It's gonna take forever. I mean, like the Mt. Gox guys are still not paid back yet. But that's a Japanese court system, which is like no slouch. They'll spend 10 years on something if they want. So Dot, not crazy about. A lot of people are talking Doge again. This is my old chart where we had the BART to the breakout of this trend, and so far we've broken out and we've tagged this level, but I still want to see us hit like 11 cents, but we just haven't got there yet. So let's take a look at the SHIB army. SHIB looks less pumpy, but she's wedging, so I would definitely keep an eye out on that if you like trading this. When things are like choppy and stuff, I don't touch meme coins personally. I'd rather stick with Ethereum or like Zcash when it's behaving. So Litecoin's trying to get to 100 but hasn't, and I'd argue she's kind of channel walking. There's two well prints that saved it from breaking out of that channel, really. So it'll be interesting. If this thing gets above 100, I'd really take note. But let's check oil, see what oil did today. So I think TradeFi is about to have some interesting stuff. If you've noticed, there's been a lot of talk about Ukraine lately and the amplification of the armies for Russia. And it's coming up on the 1-year anniversary. So regardless of your thoughts of any of it, I think maybe February is maybe a tipping point where something happens as far as maybe a negotiation. I'm not really sure. That's not my cup of tea, but I pay attention to it. And I noticed the media has changed a bunch about it. So maybe February is where we pivot, or I don't know, maybe NATO steps in, or who knows? We don't know, but I think this stalemate stuff is not going to drag out too much longer. Hopefully it all comes to an end. Regardless, it's going to affect all this stuff, especially the S&P 500. And this is the S&P 500. And so far, our top signal back in the day on November at 47.13 was damn near the perfect top. We came back down, top, came back down, top, came back down, top, came back halfway, and then bounced. So for me, I was like, well, this H4 top has been money every single time. And it was here, and we got below the channel walker, and then she's curved back up. Now FOMC is tomorrow, and the news is getting weird, and there's tech layoffs and everything else, and the market's rallying on bad news, etc. This may be the perfect signal for this to hit and go back down. Or she's going to break through, and then this was the bottom, maybe, right? Maybe there's that talk. They actually pulled off a soft landing, and this was the soft landing. We don't know yet. It's going to take some time to tell. But this, for what it's worth, is the first time in 14 months that the top H4 signal has not got a full slam down into at least the next level of pivots. So it's something to note is we only got to the mid-range. Now you're probably like a crypto person and you don't care about S&P. This dictates what the S&P does. What Bitcoin does a lot of times. Like more often than not, if the S&P is going up, Bitcoin goes up. So you got to really pay attention to this. Same thing with like Dow Jones Industrial and actually like the cost of oil. All this stuff ties together, believe it or not. DJI actually looks a little more rollovery than the S&P. So we'll see if she comes down. Don't know yet. Let's see. There's Matic. So let's check the DXY. Because the DXY has been parabolic for like a year. And then she finally broke out, right? And now we're coming back into this levels here, which we sat at for a long time before she broke out. The DXY is in general just a tech tip here. It's very slow moving. So typically I look at this stuff on the 3-day time frame. If you do 3-day, it's a little bit easier to get the sensitivity that you really need off these tools. So let me see if I can change. Where's the label? Watermark. I want to make that so you guys can actually see it. Watermark. Nope. There you go. So you can see I'm on the 3-day. But anyway, we'll see. If she can sit like the DXY, you want this to fall if you want the S&P to go up. So we're hoping it doesn't find support here and keeps going down. I don't think that's the case. I think it's probably going to bounce, but we shall see. Regardless, this was the clear break, and we've been on top of it. So we watched this for literally 10 months of streaming. It's been super boring, but it's finally broke. So there it is. There's the fun call. Let's check diesel. I do want to check that one. So this ticker, it's a really, really weird one. It's a DD Fuel US Gulf. This is low sulfur diesel. If you're not familiar, low sulfur diesel is what basically the transportation industry runs off. This is your big boats. These are your 18-wheelers. These are your trains. So to me, this is another indicator of how well the economy is doing. So if diesel's up, we're not completely capitulated yet. We want to see the S&P fall and diesel fall at the same time. And that's how we got the V bottom in 2009. So I haven't seen that yet. Diesel had gone parabolic, and then it started going sideways, looking like it was going to fall. Now it's coming back up, and diesel prices are on the move back up. Gas prices are not, but diesel is. So like U.S. oil is a good thing to read, but diesel is specifically like economy-based fuel, not necessarily like gasoline. So that's just kind of a food for thought. And I've got some old posts on Twitter where you can see me talking about diesel. So if you look up RR Runner 144 and diesel, you'll see it. Because I definitely don't want to build those charts right now. But pretty clean channel walk, yeah. GMX, young chart, but beautiful. Yeah, we can take a look at GMX. Isn't that the blueberry one? My boy Blackmore trades this. He's blueberry dude. Yeah. Clean pivots, and it's bouncing off that double, obviously. Well, I say obviously. It screams double pivot to me. But yeah, it's a young chart. I don't know much about it, but this thing was hyped really, really big like 2 months ago. It's a DEX. Yeah. My boy Blake trades it too. He does well. He trades a lot of coins though. A lot of stuff that I've never even heard of. Yeah, there was another thing I want to check. Let's check out funding. So let's check funding candles for a little bit. Let me add watermark. There we go there. So far, the funding is not flipped yet. We've got little signs of life. It's not. It just hasn't pulled back up to where we want it to be. So, for what it's worth. I do want to see this flip bullish because that would indicate we're going hot. We're going on the next bull run, but we just haven't seen it yet. But it's worth checking. We check spaghetti charts too. These are always fun. And it crashes the computer. No, there it goes. TradingView servers are melting down right now. Because all this is rendered on their computers, not mine. I wish it was rendered on mine. I figured it'd be a little faster. Yeah, I may not be able to do this on stream. Come on. Come on. What chart? What were you charting, Salty? As you can clearly see, we're in accumulation. Alt markets are looking a little colorful. I'll have to look into that. It works. It works when I'm not streaming, for what it's worth. So, hey, not that you guys would care about that. We can go back to Rainbow. These are really cool little templates, by the way. You can't see it. I don't have the thing showing, but anyway, I digress. So anyway, long story short, chill out. Let's wait till February, see what's going on. If something stupid happens, hop on the dumb trade. You know, not that it's a dumb trade, just like don't overthink it is what I'm trying to say. So, anywho, if you guys want to hang out and talk about some other stuff, we can. You can knock out questions, knock out any other charts you want me to look at. We can go from there. Oh yeah, I haven't looked at Tesla. I actually do want to check that one. How's Elon doing? The bottom is in. Long story short, you get white candles in this reversion rainbow plus a bottom. Pay attention. 63%. Holy cow. That's awesome. I think I briefly looked at it. Matic is pumping pretty hard. This was weird. This was, I think, though, the Disney news, I think. I don't remember. But Matic has been crazy. I mean, it's been strong since the end of December. And it's just been going. It's erratic as hell. But we've hit 3 TP levels, and now we're going for the 4th one, right? Which is up here. Maybe we'll get there. Just remember, we rejected this like crazy and free fell. So be really, really careful there. Tight stops, right? You really want to zoom out. This is a goofy chart, but because typically this would be over here. No, but anyway, yeah, just be careful. AOE crazy. In my opinion, it's not a. I don't think it's a level base anymore. I think it's a time base. So we're getting kind of close to the halvening. Not close, but like timing wise with like the crypto cycles, we're getting close to some things. So let me try to find it real quick because I haven't looked into this in forever. Stock to flow model. If you don't know who that is in the picture, shame on you. Go look him up. I can't find the one I normally look into, or I look at, but regardless, I'll show you this one. So this website's lookintobitcoin.com. And I don't give 2 craps about what people say about the stock to flow model. Oh, the line's wrong. The colors aren't. The colors are dead on. Dead on. You sell these greens and it's like every time you're in the upper echelon for the most part, right? Boom, boom, boom. And right now we're starting to get into the dark blues. right? So we're roughly like here in the time frames, and I apologize for those labels. This isn't the normal website I use, but let me try to tighten it up a little more. All right. So forget the stock to flow model lines. Just look at the colors for a minute, right? And if it looks obvious, we're somewhere in here, right? And if that's the case for Bitcoin, right? Like keep that in mind. This is what comes after potentially, right? That's what normally happens. Your Bob Lucas for your cycle stuff, right? So if this is the bottom, we're not looking for a top level for Link. We're not looking for a number. We're looking for time. And what you want to do is, if that's the case, if we really are in the Bitcoin bottom, this is the all-time lows that you have an opportunity to get in on Link before the next full-on bull run, which is still, what, 2 years, 3 years away? So I would be looking to buy below 950 or long it after it breaks out and disregard prices and just wait for Bitcoin to kind of look like it's topping out. So long story short, sell it somewhere in the yellow. So that would be a long way. It goes purple on the first day. Yeah, so we're talking like a multi-year hold, honestly. That's what I think. And that's why I'm really interested in the Link chart, because the Bitcoin chart doesn't show me almost a year's worth of accumulation, but like Link does. And Link's the top, 20 coin nowadays? I don't remember what it is, but that's just my thought. I wouldn't be looking for a number. I would be looking for time, and I'd be looking to hold this bag for like over a year or two, if that's the case. The caveat to that is if we pull one of these. Now, people think of the 20K peak, people think of the 60 peaks, and then the old, what was it, $1,000. This 13.5 that we hit here was parabolic as F, and then it melted down, and then we had the COVID dip, right? But this run from like 4,000 to 13.5 was straight vertical, right? And people don't consider that. That could easily happen coming out of this one. So that's where maybe is, if I saw Bitcoin going completely vertical, printing my hottest rainbow colors, maybe I'd consider selling the Link. Maybe. I'd be looking to exit on some stuff. But I think multi-generational 2 years, 3 year low, this is probably the argument for Link. Nothing's this flat for this long. I mean, it looks like accumulation to me. So, I mean, you could say the same thing about DOT here for the most part, and then DOT's a little more springy. It's not as sideways as Link, but it just is what it is. Link's the one that really has my eye, because the others don't look like that. Like, I don't want to I don't like doing Wyckoff schematic charts, right? But this looks like accumulation to me. And how can a top 20 coin be an accumulation if we're not in the bottom? Is my question. I would love to know who knows what the answer is, but where is Link? Link's top 21. I mean, there's $3.5 billion in this thing. It's no slouch, and I think it's been in the top 10 before. But, I mean, a lot of the other charts, I can't argue it's accumulation. I'd be forcing it. And most of the people that I think are talking about like accumulation on like Bitcoin, they're not looking at the freaking range. Like these tools are telling you this is the beginning of the range. When you see these colors plummet and they start to rotate and the RSI is rotating, this is telling you you're in the first leg of a new range that's about to print, and you're about to get your first range low. Watch out for the range high, because it'll come next. And that's how you get your knife catching strategies with like the rainbow tools. If you can memorize how to see this, you can get your knife catching entries. And just watch Bitcoin, because the alts will fall off the face of the earth, but Bitcoin will print this nice pretty pattern and do like a double tap. And it happens over and over again. We had one here for this range. It's not as pretty, but lo and behold, there's your preliminary sort, there's the double tap. color rotation all around. You see where the previous one was really good. Yeah. See? Beautiful. That's the front half of an accumulation range 9 times out of 10. And you will be scared to death to buy it, but that's your emotions at play. This is where the big boys come in and gobble it up. So, and that's what we had here. And that's why we've been dealing with this range. So to me, the people that are looking at like Wyckoff charts and their schematics and they're only looking at this, I think is a fallacy. Now this is definitely the same pattern, right? This is the front part of a new range. Now it's still connected to this one. It hasn't fully blown out, so I still consider it the same range, personally. You could maybe argue it, but we're already back into this. So I definitely would say that's not a separate blowout. Typically the blowouts are really drastic. You see how this was a range and then it blew out and then that was the front part, right? And then she blew out again and went low. This blew out on news and it should have come down here 10-12 and it didn't. So I would say this is the range, and I don't think you can apply a Wyckoff chart to that personally. So, anyway, anytime AOE. What's up, Rick James? I haven't checked sushi. I need to add it. USDT. And then I want to add Adam. USDT. Adam is on there. Let's check sushi. Shout out to my boy Jared. That looks like accumulation as well. I don't know if it's schematic-y, but oh shoot, I found it on percentages. Huh. I'm gonna have to look at this one some more. Your low pivot hasn't been breached, so it's not a spring here, but she's not going to be super, super clean. I need to get back to my buddy Doc on this because I meant to send him. So you can see this here. This is like, anyone ever's talking about like preliminary support, when you see bleeding out and it pops, there's your preliminary support. It's really easy to spot with the rainbow stuff. The colors will print it, and you'll see those little RSIs there too. But bam, preliminary support, first dive down, second dive down with triple whale prints. Boom, higher low held. Swing high, rejection, higher low held. Higher low got broken. That's a slightly lower low, but not as low as this. Maybe that's a spring. Maybe. I think you're pushing it, trying to call this Wyckoff, but maybe that could be your creek. Maybe. And there's your jump. But regardless, keep it simple, stupid. Pay attention if it gets above 1.67. Pay a lot of attention if it gets over $2. That's how that goes. Actually, I do want to look at Bitcoin on the higher time frame. And then I'll probably start working on dinner and getting baths ready for the kiddos. So, Channel Walker is bullish on... Not bullish, it's flipped green. You can see here where we came down and she flipped. Right? We've been pretty much for the most part, except for this, been coming down. And then we have the daily well print, which is interesting. I just realized we had a daily well print. Holy crud. Whoa. You remember that well print? Looks a little familiar. And I have posted some charts where I've like, well, this looks like 1, 2, 3 drop, 1, 2, 3 drop. It's much better on the lower time frame charts, but to me, this is looking like 1, 2. Maybe we'll get the 3. Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at that. We got a daily well print. That's amazing. Let's check and see if it's on Coinbase too. It is. We also got a well print here and a well print here. I prefer. Let's check the leverage on Binance because the volumes are different, right? So that's gonna affect your. Whoa. Triple daily well print. Double rainbow. Shoot. That's never happened? Holy cow. Well, if you're going to guess what my Twitter posts are going to be about tonight, it's going to be about these daily well prints. That's amazing. That's exciting. That's a big signal. Gemini, Mexi, BingX. Kraken's decent. Their volume's pretty sporadic though. I'm trying to think of who else to look at. I mean, frankly, all these damn exchanges have died. Bybit. I do want to see Bybit. How do you do sources? I forgot how you do that. Crypto. Oh, they only have the perpetuals on here? That sucks. Triple. Well, one of my most viral, actually my most viral tweet of all time was about a well print, so gonna be looking at that one. Anyway, I gotta get going. That was a quick rundown of everything. Hope you guys are doing well. Shoot you guys back to the Rainbow Trends Discord. We have our community, and you can definitely check out our Discord here. There's no paywalls. If you want to see a bunch of rainbow traders like actively talking charts and stuff, go hop on there, say hi. Good group of dudes. Can't thank them enough. They've been with me for a long time, and they're super, super nice and want to teach anybody how to chase whales. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Let me see if my friend is online, and we will raid him real quick. I don't think he is. He is. Let's do it. Let's raid Kimba. I'll talk to you guys later. Show Kimba some love. He's a good dude. Later.